Hello and welcome to Comics with Jose. My name is Jose. I love comics and I want to share them with you. Follow me on Twitter at Art of JLA or on Instagram at JLA622, where I share some doodles that I work on and a little comic book story that I'm currently working on as well, free of charge. I do this for fun and I just enjoy talking and sharing comic books. Like, follow, and subscribe if you like the channel. We're going to go over comic book stories that I have. I own a lot of comic books over the years. We're going to use digital, however, because it's easier to share on digital on your computer screen or phone. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here as we talk about comic books, my favorite absolute subject. We're going to I won't be doing too much more of single issues. I'm going to try to do arcs. In this case, we're going to do two arcs because there were two-parters. So we're going to do two-parters. So we're going to do JLA 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're going to do 4 issues today. All 4 written by Grant Morrison, all 4 drawn by Howard Porter. This is from 1997. So this is the cover to issue number 6. And of course, this is the era of the electric Superman. Aquaman has a harpoon. Kyle Rayner is the Green Lantern. And Wally West is Flash. This is that era of Image comic books where everybody's trying to play catch up to Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee. So everybody copies. And then we get the credits here. So, here we go. So, an angel is falling from heaven and is seen as a falling star in the sky. And at the same time, this gentleman here, he's been in a coma, is going to wake up after many years. And we're dealing with a character like Mephisto, like the DC Mephisto type character here. And I believe his name is Neron. So he is sort of like the devil himself. And he showed up in like the year prior to him in one of the Manhunter single series. So he's woken up and this is someone who will be part of Grant Morrison's run. So we got our title. Very Grant Morrison. I don't know how to describe his writing, but it's cool. It's so different. So now we're at the JLA Watchtower in the moon. And of course, we've got the electric Superman and Wally West as the Flash. So they're talking about the new Green Arrow, who's Oliver Queen's son, and Superman's concerned his youth and inexperience, and Flash tells him, hey, if this is like his dad, it'll be, you won't have anything to worry about. And then he goes, I'm not sure about this. So then, of course, he changes everything. So if you go from here to here, you can see how he shuffled things. So Superman says, Terror Design lost a genius, and he's worried because the way everybody looks up to Superman makes him uncomfortable. So I'm I know that this costume just it doesn't do it, but it's it's a it's a period of the mid '90s, so we kind of just but it's just funny looking that this is not Superman to me, but he does eventually come back. So Superman says he can't doesn't know if he can live up to the myth they want him to be, and he wonders how Batman does it, because of course Batman is awesome. So um, the Flash says, well, he's cold, and they don't think Superman can be cold. So kind of just continuing here that the symbol of the S, most people can't get past it. Um, Grant Morrison did not want this version of Superman, but this is what the higher ups had done, so he had no choice. I think Grant Morrison, if you would have given him a choice, he would have had the classics. But it is what it is, and when you work for someone else who owns the characters, you got to find a way to utilize whichever version they have. But I know he didn't want to go with this type of Superman, and there's plenty of interviews where he said so. So Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern says he picked up a alarm from the Martian Manhunter down in San Francisco, and Flash is like, "All right, let's go." And something happened. Something went wrong because Flash is sort of stuck in this uh, ghost-like thing. So in San Francisco, the Martian Manhunter has this is his boot here. So has found Zariel. He's this angel here, and he tells him everything's going to be okay. And he says, that are you breathing? He's talking telepathically, and he says, "Well, I thought I was in the Pax Day, which means peace of God in oh, not Italian. I'm sorry, in Latin. Goodness gracious." So, and then he's flesh again, and then the water is dividing, and he says, "It's the old Red Sea trick," and that they're coming after him, and the Martian Manhunter says, "How serious?" And he says, "Well, from a 1 to 10, it'll be a 12." And this here is Asmodel, and he tells Ariel that in the name of the Pax Day, he'll be erased from the book, and any that stands with you, beware. We have no mercy and no pity and can't be stopped. So these three angels are with him, and it's very cool because this doesn't take the fuzzy wuzzy angels looking out over you kind of thing. So um, very very cool. So now we got Wonder Woman and Aquaman. So Wonder Woman and Aquaman were fighting like some kind of robot in Japan, and they're gonna answer the alarm that John had put in. Um, so Aquaman hasn't really been a big part of the JLA, but he's actually enjoying this. So look at the that hook for an arm. I'm telling you, the '90s. So here we go. The JLA are gonna fight a bunch of angels. So they're not amused. They warn them. It's kind of cool. Seeing Grant Morrison is a very clever writer. Um, he doesn't just give you, oh, what would we say? he could the way he constructs a narrative is it blows your mind. His it can be really stilted and weird at times. His dialogue, it just sometimes, you got to really focus on that because he's a big picture writer. So, um, and sometimes you're like, what? I mean, the way he ties these things together, I mean, sometimes it seems like he is just pulling them out, but the dude, this dude can write. There's a reason that he's such a fan favorite. So, um, so like I said, JLA and the Angels, you can definitely see the image influence on the art. So, and then Neron is just kind of looking looking out, kind of like the devil would be would be doing if this was real. So the art is really cool. So all right, so Zoriel introduces himself to the JLA and lets him know that he knows, he's mortal now. So he can die, and explains Asmodel is a major in God's army and has uh, a lot of power. So they a King Angel Alpha Battalion. I love all this. So um, you know, just as always, every 1,000 Hiroshima bombs is how he explains to it. So Zariel knows something, so they're trying to kill him. So before he um, before he can do damage with the secrets that he knows. He knows these secrets can he they don't want him to they don't the angels the other angels, the bad angels don't want his interference, I guess is the best way I can say it. So, the angels are trying to kill him, and so it's basically this is just going to be a cool tale of the JLA fighting God's angels. So, how powerful is the JLA? Well, I guess we'll find out. So, some of these are, again, Grant Morrison's writing style. He writes at this uh, pace that is sometimes it's really hard to make sense of it. I mean, you really, 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 really got to sometimes read these and read these again over and over. Um, and I'm not doing it justice because I sort of just start with these. I don't really reread them. I'm kind of rereading them as I'm going with you, and I'm going nearly by memory here. So he uses like an angelic voice to get rid of this one, and um so this here says this I don't think it kills them. It's just the sonic disruption disrupts the frequency. So he'll come back eventually, but it can take years. So it's quite the power. And so something's happening here. Something's going in because Aquaman had said the tides. Something's happening to the tides. And so um there's like a yellow glowing, and it's Asmodel's chariot, which is really cool. Look at this here. Um and it's gonna cause, massive amounts of destruction. So and they're gonna try to see if they can get a hold of Superman. And there's problems there. The Flash is trapped in the teleporter, and all the it says here that um, the moon has begun to fall toward the Earth. So, as if the problems weren't bad enough. So, and of course, here's the chariot, because only Grant Morrison could come up with this. Look at that. What? He's got an imagination. I don't know. I honestly don't know in his scripts whether he describes this, or he just says, Howard, just draw something cool. So, all right, next issue right here. This would be number 7. And again, we look at the credits. And there's Asmodel. What an absolutely cool. I love this here. Not all angels are good angels. So, look at that. That is so cool. Obviously, we're showing here a lot of damage. So Superman is going to try to create a magnetic field to try and get the moon back into orbit. So dude really wants Zariel, and he's right there. And what a cool name, Asmodel. Oh, so here we go. So, Superman's working on trying to keep the moon up, and the JLA is fighting angels. No biggie. And again, just a brief interlude as he's watching all the stuff on Earth unfold. So here goes Superman, because he is Superman, even if he is blue Superman. It's pretty cool concept. These issues, of 2 issues, 1 and 2 issues, right now you see everybody do 6-part, 12 parts, and to do all this conflict and do it in 2 issues, that's pretty cool. So, and I'm telling you, look at that suit with all the eyes. So he's basically says he's gonna destroy everyone there, and he's quite powerful. So and again, he wants Zoriel dead to preserve a secret. And he wants to, he's just so cool. Looks like a bull. He's gonna destroy the League because they're standing with him. So he is wanting to take over and destroy God. He wants to be the new God. So it's right here. He wants to succeed where Lucifer failed. So he's been planning and planning and planning. So here comes the Martian Manhunter. I just look at this cosmic scale, the destruction. So, and this is the man that woke up from that coma, and he's gonna get out. Kind of made everybody a little crazy. Grant Morrison is just putting on subplots for the next. So this isn't gonna be figured out now. This is coming at later, so you know, he's driving everyone here insane here. And so the Flash eventually is gonna alter his molecular rate to adjust for the teleporter, and will end up teleporting to San Francisco, and then Superman's just gonna go fly over there. So we're about to get the big gun. So some more of the fighting and the fighting. And Superman's arrived. He's gonna take over now. And Superman versus the God Angel. Look at this panel. I don't care if it's the blue Superman. Pretty cool. I probably would have had Asmodel wearing red versus blue, or have these things like be yellow to make everything pop. Here, everything kind of blends together. Look at all the blue. So that's a change I probably would have done in the coloring, is red for him and yellow for these bolts, or just something. I mean, I think they're blue because of Superman's power. So, but something just to create a little bit more easy to look at. So and we're gonna have our battle culminate. And the Flash and Green Lantern are working together, and they're gonna create a sound to send the angels back to heaven. Except Zariel, because he is mortal now. So, and boom. And the JLA has won. Look at that, done in 2 issues. That's pretty cool. Just don't see those things very often. So anyhow, so again, this is setting up for another part here, and you know, there's a larger game that is being done, and oh, had a bit of an error here. So we are having a the epilogue here, and Batman's back. There were Sorry about that. It looks like I had one of the pages was defaulted, so it was black. So anyway, they were preparing to have a ceremony to welcome the Green Arrow, but instead they're attacked by the Key, who, by the way, was the person that was in that coma. So thus endeth the 2 parts. So 2 issues down, 2 to go. Very cool pose of Batman just laying in the middle. It's pretty cool. So we now go to number 8, and this is Connor Hawke, Green Arrow's son. Green Arrow was killed during this era and replaced with his son. But of course, it's comic books, so he's back. Here are the credits. And so, now one of the things that I did is I kind of blew by it, but the penciler is actually Oscar Jimenez, not Howard Porter. So, So what we're doing here is we're looking sort of at another world, and you can tell that this is Kryptonian, and this is one of the Green Lanterns who's dying, and he's named a successor, who happens to be Kal-El of Krypton. So Krypton has not exploded. If you're confused, don't worry. We'll we'll get there. It is, after all, a Grant Morrison story. So Earth, you see the Statue of Liberty is underwater, and so you can see these. I don't know if you caught it in the beginning. Program running. So something's up. You can see that the waters have risen. Let me tell you, for you to get this much water, I don't care how much the polar ice melts, it's not doing this. Not that high. That this would require so much water. Um, this would is not possible even if you melted all of Antarctica. So not this high. High, yes. This high worldwide, no. So, and again, program running. Got Batman and Catwoman. So, something about a new generation. And so, uh, Bruce Jr. happens to be Robin, most likely. And Tim Drake, I think, is Batman. So, or it could, I'm not really sure. I'm just assuming. So, and so we're in where Connor Hawk is about to be teleported. So he's going to go into the watchtower and, you know, to talk a little bit about his dad and all that. This Jimenez guy, Oscar Jimenez, this is very Kubert looking, like Adam and Andy Kubert. So very I don't know. I don't know if you're getting those vibes, but I I seem to me it seems like it. So all right, so he is now in the JLA watchtower. Nobody's there. And he's like, hello. Look at his dad's arrows. Booster Gold. And so, again now, got Superman, Green Lantern. I really like this. Maybe not a red cape, but definitely. And turns out that they've been given like these programs running through them. They all have them. So, and so Wonder Woman's next. And Connor sees this and shoots his arrow. And they chase him, and this is the key. So the key, for those of you who don't know, is a villain from the Silver Age. He first appeared in Justice League of America number 41 back in 1965. So he is he's been around. So he just, when you think of these villains of the JLA, you just don't think. But this is the beauty about Grant Morrison, man. That guy picks up threads and runs with them, and his Batman run, he did that. So now we're on Wonder Woman. kind of an Indiana Jones kind of. This is probably Steve Trevor. And so this is during World War II. So, they're all having these programs in them, so I'm not going to concern myself too much with them. In the meantime, Connor's fighting. And so the Key's not impressed with the new Green Arrow. So the Key, without the bow and arrows for Green Arrow, is not too concerned. So we're kind of, again, going back into the mines. Grant Morrison really is he's an incredible writer. Look at the Joker, just an old guy with the little pin, the X through the bat. So these guys are not living happy little lives. So Green Arrow's fixing himself up, sees his papa's old arrows. He's like, all right. And he's going to go and save the League. And so, issue number 9. And we got dark credits. Oscar Jimenez is also the penciler, not Howard Porter, so I was mistaken. And so essentially what's going on is the Key is trying to obtain ultimate power, and he's using psychic drugs to lock each member of the JLA into a kind of virtual reality that's varies. And the Key knows that the JLA members will break out of it, and the psychoelectric surge flowing through that fuel will help him reach his goals. So that's essentially what's been happening. That's what these 2 issues have been about. So now the Flash. Very cool Batmobile there. So looks like Joker was about to explode, but Superman, or Super Green Lantern, however you want to call him, has shown up. I'm telling you, this is better than that little blue thingy. So, like the title, Elseworlds. So Green Arrow is still on the loose. Also very Carlos Pacheco type thing. I wonder why this guy didn't take off a little bit more, because his art looks solid. Using his dad's trick arrows. I'm telling you, Grant Morrison is a great writer. He just isn't a simple writer. Like, he doesn't just give you a simple story. It's a little bit more nuances than that. One day I would love to just talk about, certain writers and what makes them great. Warren Ellis, Grant Morrison, oh goodness, Mark Miller, Frank Miller, Brian Bendis, Jason Aaron, Chris Claremont, John Byrne, Walter Simonson. What is it about them that makes them so good? Um, so many others that I truly enjoy. And so, you know, there's I'm trying not to linger too much in these because we know this isn't real. Not that all come, you know what I mean. This isn't part of the main thing. So I'm just kind of moving along. So and they're waking up and just punched by the Green Arrow. And so the key is defeated, and they're accepting Green Arrow into the League. And so we get an epilogue here, and the key is being kind of put back. So so when you see this HH, if you're ever wondering, I think it's a sigh. So instead of putting it, he's going, and that's so when you see this HH, it's a so he's sighing. And now epilogue 0, we got some villains here. You can see the Joker here. Can't see who everybody is, but we do know one of these is Luthor. And so, and looks like they are creating an evil Justice League. Look at that. So that is a story for another day. So we did 4 issues today. JLA 6, 7, 8, and 9. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe.